Here, on the vast plains of northwestern Cambodia, lie the ruins of an ancient kingdom. There is an immense artificial reservoir which feeds water into moats of various sizes, and no less than 1,200 beautiful buildings fashioned from stone. The temple is intricately engraved with a wide array of religious symbols. There are even 40-meter-high towers with faces carved onto their sides. This is a unique kind of structure that cannot be found anywhere else in the world. But this splendorous civilization came to an abrupt end, disappearing into the annals of history. And its remnants became buried deep in the jungle, covered in centuries-old roots and foliage. Then in January of 1860, the French naturalist Henri Mouot revealed the temple to the world. At the time, he said, one of these temples, a rival to that of Solomon and erected by some ancient Michelangelo, might take an honorable place beside our most beautiful buildings. On this vast stretch of land, which is 46 times greater than the Vatican and surrounded by moats, is Angkor Wat, a masterpiece of the Khmer Empire, which was founded in the 9th century AD and flourished for 600 years. This is a fantasy of the gods. Although centuries have passed, this masterpiece rivals those of our greatest contemporary artists. But it looked different than this when it was first built. The ceiling was ornamented with splendorous lotus flowers and told a vivid account of the gods and their creation of the universe. Combined, the four walls were no less than 800 meters long. It was a city of the gods. But there is one mortal image which graces this structure. It is that of Surya Varman II, the creator of this masterpiece. There lived a young man in the beginning of the 12th century AD. Born of royal blood, the youth could never become king. He hailed from the Lopburi region of modern-day Thailand. His family rose to prominence during the time of his grandfather. And because the young man's great-grandfather on his mother's side had been king, his family was able to form a powerful faction. This youth, who had been born the second son according to records, was full of courage, wisdom, and had an indomitable spirit. As a result, he caught the attention of the Brahmin priest Divakara Pandita, who had the power to determine the succession of the kingship. Although the Khmer Empire was a monarchy, religious customs and beliefs held more sway over the people than any single person. And as a result, religious leaders tended to be powerful. Divakara Pandita was the most powerful of all religious leaders in the land. The youngster dreamt of becoming king. But in 1113, the youth's great uncle, Taranindra Varman, was on the throne. The government was in chaos during the king's reign. A former monk who was forced to take the throne against his protests, Taranindra Varman was an ineffectual ruler who had no interest in state affairs. He was neither willing nor able to bring order to the chaos. It was a time when the royal faction led by the Surya clan, which had newly risen to power in the Lopburi region, and the older royal factions who had been pushed south by the upstarts, were struggling for the kingship. In the end, the Brahmin priest chose to confer the kingship to the ambitious young man, hoping that he would bring harmony to the anarchy wrought by King Taranindra Varman's ineffective rule. The priests bided their time and planned a coup d'etat. Khmer records describe the horrors of the day in the following words. Bounding on the head of the elephant of the enemy king, he killed him, as Garuda on the edge of a mountain would kill a serpent. After seizing power, the young man purged the government of the former king's allies and proceeded to conquer the southern factions. He had become the king of a united Khmer Empire. At the time, the Khmer Empire was in disarray. Members of the royal household, factions from the provinces, and even priests participated in the power struggles. The ferocity of the struggles can be seen in the fact that 18 of the 26 historic Khmer kings took power through violent means. Officially, a council of Brahmin elders decided the succession. Again, a young man felled the king and ascended the throne once again. He was only 17 when he killed the king and took power. This young man was Suryavarman II. The king's formal coronation took place in 1119, 6 years after a successful coup, when he had finally brought peace to the land. He became the 18th king of the Khmer Empire. Then, he made his soldiers and subjects take an oath of loyalty. Although we do not have this oath, it is probably very similar to the oaths that were made to the kings that came before him. Although he was only 17, the young man was able to ascend the throne thanks to his wisdom and courage. He was finally given the title, Protector of the Sun, when he was crowned along with his queen. This young man is Suryavarman II, who built Angkor Wat and ushered in the golden era of the Khmer Empire. For centuries, the Khmer kings had used the Angkor region, which is known today as Siem Reap, as the seat of empire. But there was another place which they considered even holier. This was Phnom Kulen, a mountain located 40 kilometers to the northeast of Siem Reap. This is where the first capital of the Khmer Empire was built in 802 AD. It is for this reason that newly crowned kings would make a pilgrimage to this place in order to secure their legitimacy. But there is another reason that they place such an importance on Phnom Kulen. It's because of its religious significance. A stele discovered in Sadak Kaktom Temple in Thailand records the following about the mountain. Here, Brahmin priests perform rituals in accordance to the 4 scriptures of Hinduism, and the king prepared a place for a lingam and